Okay, well, it's getting a little dark, I just realized now. So I'm going to be quick with this video. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lori Conkler, and I'm so happy to have you here with me. I actually started recording this video a little while ago, and then my phone told me that the storage was full, and it took me a minute to clean that up, and the sun went down real quick. So the reason that I was coming on today to record a video, I actually just finished a live over on Facebook and felt compelled to record a little bit more about the things that were on my heart and mind today, and that I know are relevant for so many of you. And I actually now kind of lost my train of thought, but I'm going to continue going with this because I know I was excited to share. And I know that sometimes things just drop in, and if you are someone who needs to hear this message, you're going to hear it at whatever time is the right time for you. But recently, I have had some conversations and had some realizations, and a big part of that, I guess conversations and realizations aren't actually relevant here. Something that I have utilized as a tool behind the scenes in my business, but also that I genuinely believe is really helpful is human design. And that is something that, I have really personally tried, have been integrating more into my own life. I've been studying it for several years, but it's definitely challenging sometimes to really align to your design, as people say that, because really what it comes down to is, when you strip away the conditioning, the preconceived notions and identities that you've lived, your whole life from, what's left sometimes is scary to face, and sometimes feels confronting, or sometimes feels like you're climbing up this endless mountain, and not because it's not right, because oftentimes I know for myself, it really, like, human design was something that I had really resonated with. And if you don't believe in that's totally fine, and many of the people that I work with don't actually subscribe to certain belief systems, and that's fine. But for me, why I choose to actually utilize it as a tool is because I know that it really has really rang true in many areas where I have really hunkered down and chosen to live my life in alignment. And one of those areas for me was the way that I'm called to share content, to speak, to share my stories with people. And oftentimes I felt that was wrong, not because it felt wrong inside of me, because that actually felt very aligned to what I had been told for, my design. But it went against a lot of what I had been taught, a lot of what other people have told me, and what I had been conditioned for much of my life, even outside of, business and all of that. So to go against what other people, tell you, to go against what you've been led to believe, to go against the identity, because this is not really about human design at all. I just wanted to utilize that as a little point of reference. But we are conditioned to believe certain things about ourselves, about what's possible for us, about the way we're supposed to do things. And for me, I often have in the past, really put other people's opinions, validation, their permission, even people I don't even know, randos on the internet, right, above myself, what they might think, what they believe, what I've been taught. And this, probably goes back to something well before business, again, childhood even, of what we're taught is acceptable, of what we embody throughout much of our life. And then we get to this certain point in our life where we realize, I don't want to live that way anymore. I can feel that something is changing, that something is different. And that's been a journey that I've been on. And my business, my relationship, many aspects of my life have just been giant mirrors to help me really come back to myself, to reclaim my voice and parts of myself, which is why for the last, I don't remember when I actually started it, the last 10 days or so, I've been, committed to using my voice daily. And that might be for just a private message for myself. It might be something that I share publicly. And that either way was totally fine with me. But because I had started to recognize where I have really been performing, where I was waiting for permission to do and say certain things, to live my life the way that I wanted to. And, I think there's many different angles of this, but for so many of you, and that's why I'm sharing this, is because I know that there's people out there that need to hear these things and that are going to resonate. But for many of you, for many of us, like, you aren't living the life that you know that you're meant to. And actually, like, because of that conditioning, because of the programming, it doesn't actually come naturally to you, even though naturally, like, you might be programmed for a certain thing, designed to live your life a certain way, to do certain things, to say certain things, to show up in the world in a certain way, to share your gifts, your magic. But you listen to those external sources, you look for that validation, you try to grip control and keep things safe, easy, what's expected of you, being the good girl. Sound familiar, right? But you get to a point in your life where you recognize you no longer want to live that way. And, this happened for me about 10 years ago. It really started 11 years ago, actually, I think, where I just realized, like, I was done. I was done living a life that didn't feel aligned and that wasn't what I wanted. And that journey has been not, a short one, and it's not been a linear straight path. And why, again, I was talking about human design specifically, was because I was listening to, I was holding on to this, like, this idea that I had to do things a certain way for people to like me, for people to listen to me, for people to buy from me, to attract the right clients. And I have paid tens of thousands of dollars for people to tell me the right way to be and do things as me. But for a long time, what I wasn't doing was actually listening to myself, was actually being myself, was letting myself show up that way in my life, in my work, in my relationships, in my content. And it's getting really dark now, so I'm going to have to go soon. Going back to the human design thing, something that I've denied for years are things that are, like, very clearly spelled out in my design. And the thing is I've utilized this in my work with clients, and it's always been spot on when we have the correct info for them. It absolutely has been spot on, like the correct info to pull their chart, I mean. And I knew this, and I knew it for myself, but I was denying it because I thought I needed to do things a certain way, that I needed to fit into a certain box, to be an authority, to be somebody that people looked up to. But I've started to really recognize that that's not the true me, and that's not authentic to show up that way. And I am showing up a little bit messy. I am, showing up in the midst of still figuring life out. Because we are all innately designed with to be a certain way. We aren't meant to be perfect. We are meant to be us. And for me, I just got really sick of trying to fit into that box, trying so fucking hard to make things work, to make my clients happy, to say the right things, to attract the right clients, to get people to pay me a certain amount of money. And to be completely frank, what's actually worked the best for me from a business perspective, when it's been the easiest, when I've had the most time, the most flow, the most fun, and also made the most money, is been when I've done exactly what I'm talking about here. When I have been the person who just shows up messy, who shows up in my life as myself, who brings people on that journey with me. When I let it be easy, when I stop trying. So I think I started the video with this, I don't remember, which is why I committed to this 21 days, right, of showing up and using my voice, because I knew that no matter what came out each day, and whether it was shared, whether it was private, it wasn't about any of that. It was about showing up and just releasing control, surrendering to the journey, to myself, to me being in my fullest expression, being my most authentic self. Because you know what? If you want ease, you want flow, you want more money, it really can be that simple. Now, again, I'm not going to say from a business perspective that it's without its challenges, or relationships are going to be without their challenges. But when you can actually just let go of that control, especially when you have somebody to be able to reflect back to you when you're doing this. Okay, mosquitoes are coming out. Definitely have to go now. And you're able to step into your true self, when you are able to stop letting those outside influences control you, and when you can stop trying to control everything around you so that you don't have to face criticism, imperfections, failures, life is going to be so much more simple. And, I'm inviting people on this journey with me, and that's why I'm sharing this. I'm also going to be sharing some new stuff very soon that will take you on this journey even deeper with me. But more to come on that. And if you want to know about that, definitely follow me. Make sure that you're following me on Facebook, because I do share more of those updates over there. Join my community on Telegram. I will be sharing more in there. It's been a little sparse and quiet, but I do share more detailed stuff over there as well. So come in, join me, or just stay subscribed to this channel and wait for the message to come. And it's been lovely talking to you. If this has resonated, drop a little heart emoji, subscribe to the channel, and pop over to Facebook and shoot me a message and let me know what resonated for you the most. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.